Well, Mary, we made our way across the garden. We're on the west side of Living Legacy Gardens now, and we're in what's called the Shade Garden. And you can see it's filled with just a wide variety of a lot of hostas and ferns, and it's just kind of a nice respite from the sunny part of the garden if it's ever a hot day and you're visiting the garden. There is a line of old willow trees that have been here since the family farm used to be located right in the middle of the garden, so this line of willows provides really nice shade for this part of the garden. One of my favorite plants in this garden is called false Solomon's seal, and it provides a long arching leaf with small leaflets, and it has beautiful red berries on it if the birds don't get it, but it just provides a nice contrast to all the hostas and ferns in the garden.
When does that come up?
In the spring, yep, it's cut down to the ground, so it completely comes up in the spring.
What are some of the other plants that you have in addition to the hostas and that you have here in this area?
Well, another shade-loving plant that we have here is called Korean Angelica, and it's one of my favorites. It's a tall plant about my height, and it has a purple umbel head on it, and the pollinators just love it. Right now it's just covered with bumblebees and honeybees, and it's a biennial, and it likes to be in the shade.
So, do you have trouble with slugs or other pests here in your shade garden?
Surprisingly, we don't, and I think the big reason is that we don't mulch. A lot of the beds over on this side of the garden are mulched, but these ones are not, and slugs love mulch. And so one of the volunteers that's in charge of this very clearly has said, let's not mulch these beds, and we never have issues with slugs over here.
Okay, how about other critters
Well,
like deer?
Surprisingly, we never have problem with deer. Maybe in the winter there's a few shrubs that they'll pick at, but the big problem for us is rabbits. And we're on a college campus, so we can't take care of things like normally we might. We do try to live trap some, and that's somewhat effective and somewhat not. But rabbits seem to be the big issue for us.
What are some of the other features here in your garden?
Well, there's lots of fun places where you can take a break. The courtyard has benches and chairs, has a small fountain, it's shaded, so a lot of people like to stop in there and have their lunch or come there for a visit with their cup of coffee. There is the area, we maybe notice that when you walk through, that we call the gazebo. Even though the gazebo currently isn't there, it was torn down a couple weeks ago. It was 20 years old and needed to be replaced, and so it's going to be reconstructed on that same footprint in just a couple weeks. So we're looking forward to that. Other features of the garden that people love particularly is the pond. The pond has a stream and a little bridge that goes across it, and it also has some goldfish in it. So it's always a favorite for the kids to come and see the goldfish. The goldfish spend the winter here in Staples, and then in the winter months they go over to Brainerd and stay in some of the tanks over at Central Lakes College over there.
Are these gardens handicap accessible?
For the most part. All the paths that are in the middle part of the garden and the east side of the garden are brick or concrete pathways. Here in the shade garden, it's kind of crushed concrete, but it's very hard packed. So depending on the type of wheelchair, I would think most people would be able to get through this path also.
Who built these beautiful pathways?
That was all done with volunteer labor back 25 years ago.
Oh my gosh. Yes. And then, is there a cost to come and enjoy your gardens?
Nope, the garden is open to the public 24/7, and it's free to come and walk through whenever you would like to.
Is there a certain season that the garden is open?
It's open year-round. The only caveat to that is that in the winter months, depending on how much snow we get, sometimes they don't plow the driveway coming in over there or the parking area, but it's never closed.
So are the plants left in the fall so people can enjoy them over the winter?
We don't do our big cleanup until the spring for two reasons. Partly because I think a lot of the plants add winter interest. So even if you want to come in the fall or in the winter, if there's not too much snow, there's still beautiful things to see. But even more important, I think a lot of the plant materials provide nesting habitat for insects. And so we like to leave it for that reason. And I do think that the plant material provides a little bit of winter protection for some of the plants.
Tammy, are there other features that aren't just right here at this location?
Yes, there are. In addition to the garden itself, Living Legacy Gardens oversees some food crops on the farm that we manage and distribute to the public. There's a vineyard, there's apple orchards, there's you-pick blueberries, and there's sweet corn, and all those products we manage, and then either people come in and pick them themselves, or we harvest and then offer them for sale to the public.
Tammy, when do you find time to do all this?
It does get busy. We're really thankful that we have interns and other staff that can pitch in, but it's a busy season. Certain times are very, very busy at the farm.
Do you have students from the college that help you too?
We really don't, in the sense of that they come on a continual basis. The CLC horticulture program in Brainerd in the fall comes for a farm tour and a garden tour, and then they volunteer to do a project in the garden. And so each year we kind of come up with kind of a big intensive project. They're only here for a few hours, but boy, many hands make for light work, and they get a big job done usually.
Do you have special events held here?
We do. The big event for Living Legacy Gardens is always the last Friday in August. We hold what's called Field Day. And it's kind of where the whole farm is featured. The Ag and Energy Center is featured. There's crop tours. There's local food walks through the different things on the farm. There's a children's program where they can dig potatoes and take home a bouquet of flowers. There's free lunch in the machine shed. And then we kind of end the day with live music and an ice cream social here in the garden.
Do you offer tours here of the garden?
We do offer tours to the garden. Anybody who's interested can give me a call and we can arrange a time and a date for that. And the garden certainly would not be possible without all the work of our dedicated group of volunteers. We have about 8 volunteers that have been coming faithfully to the garden for many of them 20 to 25 years. And they come every Tuesday morning during the growing season and work for a couple hours. And the amount of work and the amount of weeds that are removed from this garden during that time is quite phenomenal. We have volunteers that are 93 years old that still come out and weed. And we have men and women that come. We have people that build wooden structures in the garden. So it's not just people who have gardening skills, but people who have other skills, people who are promoters of the garden. And so there's a place for everybody. We're always looking for new volunteers.